The Nebraska State Fair is in the books, and now we turn our attention to Husker Harvest Days. We'll have a look back at the State Fair, the best burger in Nebraska, and the grand champion in the livestock ring. The best of the best in the beef state. Plus, we'll speak to state officials in Japan about their trade mission underway. And then we'll preview Husker Harvest Days right here on NTV's Grow. We kick things off with a look at Husker Harvest Days, the world's largest totally irrigated working farm show. Join Marilyn and I as we broadcast live all 3 days. They've made some big improvements on the ground after last year's rainout. Here's more. Nebraska is the world leader in center pivot irrigation. Governor Pete Ricketts says growing the state will happen through agriculture and getting young people involved in related fields. John Jankowski has our story.
Wednesday afternoon, Governor Ricketts stressed to a Hastings crowd of a couple hundred people how vital it is to get young people into agriculture.
We really need to make sure young people know about the huge opportunities we have in agriculture and manufacturing.
Sitting in the front row were kids listening to his message.
It was awesome. When I saw him coming up the stage, I was like, oh. And so when I met him, he's really nice.
Governor Ricketts says businesses like TL Irrigation help create new ways to grow the industry.
Technology is changing, and it provides that opportunity for young people to come and have an impact and help grow the state of Nebraska.
A worker with T&L says the governor was happy to talk with a business that created 250 jobs in Hastings.
And he was very anxious to do so, to be able to deliver the message he did.
The next step to help the ag business for the governor is to grow relationships with other countries.
We want to expand on those relationships, sell more of our products, find more investment dollars to come back to Nebraska so we can create more jobs and grow Nebraska.
When you fuel up, do you use American ethanol and biodiesel? Governor Pete Ricketts has proclaimed September as Renewable Fuels Month. Most vehicles can fuel up with 10% ethanol. Cars made in the last 15 years can use 15% ethanol. And flex fuel vehicles can use fuel that's 85% ethanol. Biodiesel comes in blends of 5, 10, and 20%. The Corn Board says renewable fuels lessen our dependence on the oil industry. Soybean farmers say engine advancements mean biodiesel has a place for every diesel engine. The state fair may be over, but a fundraising effort aimed at improving livestock facilities is just beginning. NTV's Sarah Kirkley has more.
Nebraska's top high school rodeo participants say the arena can decide the competition.
It's everything. I mean, if you don't have a good arena, you'll get less competitors. For the barrel racers and the pole benders, they won't come. It has to be a nice arena, and I don't blame them.
But when it comes to the space outside the Thompson Arena, breakaway and team roping competitor Danielle Ray says there's only a few things she would change.
More area for parking and riding, mostly, but other than that, it's amazing here.
But with nationally recognized facilities already on the west side of the ground, State Fair officials say it's time for a change on the east side.
The paneling system's really poor. We had some rain today, so we'd like to have a covered seating section for our spectators. We want an official announcer's booth that really can help promote the events that are out there.
The price tag for those upgrades and to expand this outdoor arena to a 30,000 square foot facility comes in at just over $500,000. The fair's 1868 Foundation hopes to raise it by March.
The fair doesn't own the facilities that we operate out of, so we fit kind of a niche where we can help benefit the fair, but we can also help benefit the Fauner Park campus as a whole.
And attract events that may have passed in the past.
We've had people come in and look at the venue, and it's just not quite large enough.
But by late spring, Kepke says it should be, just in time for some big equine shows already booked and the 2016 State Fair. Reporting in Grand Island, Sarah Kirkley, NTV News.
When it comes to the best burger, Goonies never say die. With their eyes on the golden hamburger, 5 of Nebraska's best burger joints competed recently at the State Fair. A panel of judges representing Nebraska agriculture and culinary industries, including yours truly, scored each one. In the end, a relatively new favorite from the Scottsbluff area took home the top prize as the Goonie Burger wins this contest from the Nebraska Beef Council.
And then they bring it to the state fair where everybody can get involved and enjoy what's going on. Yeah, we're the beef state of the United States, and we're happy to represent Nebraska, and this is
fantastic.
It's your sauce.
Amazing.
The Goonies aren't giving away the secret behind their secret sauce. All 5 showed why online votes consider them the best burgers in Nebraska. Few things go together like the Nebraska State Fair and a corn on the cob eating contest. Dozens competed at the fair on Labor Day weekend. Those 9 years old and under had to eat 2 cobs clean, those 10 to 15, 3. And the 16 and older crowd needed to eat 6, the fastest for a win. 3 winners took home the Golden Corn Trophy and a t-shirt. Spinning wool next to the animals that make it, fairgoers got to see the whole process. Spinners and weavers have been set up in the sheep barn for 6 years at the state fair. They say the push for unique items has increased in recent years, and so has the want to know where the products you buy come from.
That's kind of what we're here doing, is promoting that whole process, and from the sheep wool, to a finished product. And so we just like to share that with other people and educate.
We do like to promote what we have here in Nebraska. For instance, I am actually weaving with brown sheep wool, which was made in Mitchell, Nebraska.
Quite a crowd gathered at the fair to learn as the women cleared up some common misconceptions. Avian influenza meant no bird shows at the fair this year, at least no live birds. Instead, kids in 4-H and FFA were given alternative activities. The Nebraska Department of Agriculture offered a poultry photo contest, with the winners having their photo entries printed on the 2016 NDA calendar. The calendar will include an entire section on biosecurity aimed at preventing the spread of avian influenza. They received 41 entries from 20 counties. Despite avian influenza, the poultry industry may be growing locally. Sarah Kirkley has more on a hatchery looking to open up in Grand Island.
An Iowa company, Hatchery Holdings LLC, has just begun the process of asking for tax increment financing, a request that just unanimously passed its first step.
Right now it looks like a cornfield. Looks like a cornfield because it is.
But city leaders hope this land on Grand Island's south side will soon look like what it's zoned for, an industrial park.
There's a lot of pressure, and TIF is one of the few things that we have as a tool to use as an incentive to bring companies in.
Now, Hatchery Holdings LLC is asking. The company wants $2.6 million in tax increment financing towards a $20 million project.
In this case, without the use of the tax increment financing, the incentive package to bring the company here is not of a level that would be competitive with the other community that we are competing with.
The company officials say Grand Island is their first choice.
You guys are definitely ahead of the game compared to where else we're looking at.
They hope to put a 60,000 square foot building on 20 acres, bringing around 50 jobs and producing 24 million chicks a year. But city leaders hope the facility will have an even larger impact on what's known as Platte Valley Industrial Park East.
If you get more buildings out there, more people out there, people start to see it for what it could be. And once they start to see it for what it could be, the development happens quicker. And more people are likely to look at investing in that area.
The city has, getting a community redevelopment block grant to put in sewer and water lines. But to keep it, the site has to yield 37 jobs by next year.
We have to do that in order for that grant to actually be a grant and be forgiven and not repayable.
Both the company and the Grand Island Economic Development Corporation are keeping quiet about the project until it's a done deal. But according to the TIF request, they hope to break ground by mid-October and have it completed by September of 2016.
State ag leaders are doing business in Japan. We will talk with them coming up next.